Hello, everyone. My name is Juliana, and welcome back to Tinker Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am Devrel at NodeOps, and for every Tinker Tuesday and Thursday, we get together and explore new technology, vibe code, have fun, and get started. So last week, we ran a Google Workplace CLI, and we married it with OpenClaw, and we built something and called it Marie Kondo email. And so we were able to automate something. Today, we're going to go back to the regular scheduled agenda. And so for today, what we're going to do is the apps that we've been building. To give you some background, Tinker Tuesday is every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with the time zone difference, it's now 9 p.m. So I think we're going to stick with the schedule for a little bit. And yeah. Well, it's good to see everyone. I am streaming from New York City, and this location, the Wi-Fi is not as good, so I might lag. But yeah, if you're in the room and whether you're watching now or in the future, feel free to ask some questions, and you can also DM me. My Twitter is jnodeops. Okay, so now I'm going to take you into my desktop. Okay, so last time it was super fun. In 1 hour, we were able to start it with Google Workplace CLI. We deployed it with OpenClaw. I explained the difference between GOG and Google Workplace. We actually didn't follow this tutorial because what I ended up doing went beyond the scope of the tutorial, which was really cool. And then we performed Marie Kondo things on it. What that meant was we automated email triaging, and we were able to delete and label emails. So it's like cleaning up your inbox, you know? So that was really fun. This was done. Let me delete that. And I promised you that next time, aka today, we were going to learn how to Dockerize the Marie Kondo app, templatize it, submit it to the NodeOps marketplace to start earning revenue. And we were going to explore something that personally I've never looked into, Instagram ads. I use Instagram, and I wonder if you do too. If you are using Instagram, I'm sure sometimes, hey, Fedosky, if you use Instagram, I'm sure you wonder sometimes, where do these ads come from? And why am I being influenced? I know I'm being influenced, and I see them all the time. And I kind of hate, it's one of those things where it's like, if it works, then maybe we should lean into it. I want to be on the other side, not the person being advertised to, but the person creating the ad. In fact, it's an entire industry that I personally have never looked into, but I would love to look into like learning marketing. So I know Tinker Tuesday and Thursday it's not really in the scope of vibe coding or deployment, but I still believe that this entire end-to-end flow of creating an app, deploying it, marketing it, is all part of the entire experience of tinkering. So it's part of having fun, earning revenue, and learning together. All right, so to give you guys a briefer of Marie Kondo app, remember a couple of streams ago, hey Drewski, welcome. A couple of streams ago, we created the Marie Kondo app and we deployed it. It's actually still sitting here. This is CreateOS. I go under my deployment, and then there's my Marie Kondo app. We used about $7 in Claude Code credits to create this app. It's sitting right here. It's still running. 1.5 GBs of storage. Let's take a look at it. Oh, shoot. Is it down? All right. While it is, I'm going to show you the local version then while we're here. Okay. So this is the Marie Kondo email triage app. And we configured the entire Google Auth together. So now we can log in with Gmail. We can select our own Gmail. And then because it's not a verified application, you have to click continue. Click continue. And once you're in, you can click scan your emails. And then it's going through all of my emails. This is one of my burner email accounts. There's 121 emails in here, I think, or 151. And you can see like there's like this data that it comes with, but it also does some triaging, which means these are the emails it pulled out, and it's asking like, should I try and delete them for you? Hey Kanzi, welcome back. And I haven't exactly tried this app all the way. I figure we'll try it together. But yeah, we can see all the emails and top senders. I think this is like a pretty decent state. Like I'm sure that we can make this a lot better, you know. But the point of today's stream is to Dockerize it, templatize it, and explore Instagram ads. We are not going to vibe code this. So that's the idea. I'm going to take you into... No, I'm not going to take you into Cursor. Before we get there, let me talk to you about Dockerizing. So do you guys know what Docker is? Let me go through the plan. Step one of Dockerizing is that you containerize your application. You take whatever you vibe coded and you put it into a set of instructions into a Docker container. Because of the Docker container, it's now replicable across wherever. Hey, Mayor, thank you for responding. Okay, so Docker is this container. You're containerizing your application into its own isolated environment. You know, basically, I can show you exactly what that looks like. And then once you Dockerize it, you can make your Docker image public. When it is public, it means that anyone with access to your Docker image can duplicate your application themselves. But they don't have access to your code. That's the thing. It's obfuscating your code. And it's also, and if you do it right, you can actually obfuscate where it's coming from too. So that's what NodeOps kind of does. Yeah. Thank you for responding, Kanzi and Mayor. All right. So once it's public, it goes under. We're gonna Dockerize it. Like we're gonna run some commands to Dockerize it. I'll go through the exact commands, and then after we Dockerize it, we actually have to publish it. We publish it to the public Docker Hub. The public Docker Hub is pretty much like GitHub. It's going to be like, a listing of your Docker containers. And once we get to the step, then we can go templatize it. Templatizing is just submitting it to the NodeOps marketplace. So the most technical steps are actually these three. And after that, this part is just filling out a form. And then we can, if we have time, I would love to explore Instagram ads because honestly, this is probably the most interesting step to me. But so let's get started. It's 9:08. We have about like 50 minutes to do all of this. And I want to finish this in like 10 minutes. So let's do the first step. Okay, Dockerizing. So now that we all understand, hi, TFK, hello, hey, everyone. All right, Dockerizing. So I made this slide deck like last year, June 2025. Oh my God, time flies. And I talked about like how to make money from NodeOps. So back then, 20% of the revenue goes to you, the builder, but now this number is actually 80% of the revenue. So actually it's awesome. Once you create an application, you can Dockerize it, templatize it, and then just market it or hope someone uses it, and then you get 80% of the revenue. So yeah, that's the incentive. And then to Dockerize it, it is there it is. You're going to need a Docker file. This is what we're generating today. A Docker file, like I said, is a set of instructions, build instructions. I know you can't see it too good, but basically it's literally, it reads from top to bottom. Like it starts from like a base image of node, which is JavaScript, right? It takes a base image. It usually runs on like a Linux environment, creates a directory, it sets some environment variables, it copies your files over, and blah, blah, blah. The point is that we've created a Docker file. After that, here are the commands that we're going to run. Okay, there. So we're going to be running the Docker build command. So this is to build it locally. And then we're going to test it out, right? And then we're going to publish it. To publish, it's this command over here. I'm showing this right now before we get started, but we will totally do all of this together. There's one thing that I'm going to mention today that's very important. If you are Dockerizing for anything that you plan to host on NodeOps, you must pass in the flag Linux AMD 64. This is very important because the architecture of our deployment structure does not support the ARM AR. It's by default, if you don't pass this flag, it's Linux ARM, and we only support AMD. Just you guys remember this, okay? And then we run this command, we push. Yeah, that's the idea. Let me show you my Docker. You need a Docker Hub account. All right, so I'm going to sign in. I'll show you my account. Here. So just like GitHub, these are my repositories, aka my containers. These are all the Dockers that I've created, you know, some from 5 years ago, some from 2 months ago, etc. So I'm going to use this slide deck to do a little cheat sheet so we can get started today. All right, so now that we understand where we're going, all right, I'm going to take you into the cursor now. And then from this point on, we're just going to be looking at the cursor. All right. Sorry, it's so small. There's so much text. Let me clean it up for you. Okay, that is better. There. I hope everyone's doing well. Okay, so now we're looking at cursor. And if you guys don't know what cursor is, it is an IDE, VS Code, just like VS Code, you know, this is where you code. But what's cool about it is that it comes with a little AI agent on the right side. I pay, I think, 20 bucks a month for it. And it's very simple. On the left side is my GitHub repository. This is what we vibe coded last time when we were on Claude Code. This time, we're going to Dockerize it. So we're going to generate that Docker file. All we have to do is just, rather than creating it ourselves, now we just tell the AI agent to create it. So I would type something to say Dockerize it. Is cursor similar to Remix? Not really. If you Remix ID is the Ethereum-based one, right? The one where you're on like a website and you're like working on smart contracts. If that's the one you're talking about, very different. Very different. Cursor is more like VS Code. Do people still use Remix IDE? It's been a long time. I remember when it came out back in like 2018. Okay, I don't think I need to say this. So all I wrote was, please create a Docker file from this app. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it generated a Docker file. Let's take a look at it. So as I said, it's a set of instructions. You read it from top to bottom. You're learning smart contract lately. Notice the interface is somewhat identical to cursor. Yeah, IDEs tend to look very similar, but Remix is specifically created for smart contract development. You wouldn't be able to do the same thing here, like when you switch and deploy to different chains and stuff. Yeah, I'm familiar with Remix. So yeah, have fun. Okay, so reading it as instructions from top to bottom. It starts from the top, building from node ops, node base image. This itself is like the the base itself as the builder, which means if it starts from here, it means it should run JavaScript because it comes with node built in. And then it says like create a directory called /app, then copy the files from here to here, and then run npm install. Then start copying things from the base project into the container. So it's like step-by-step building the container of your application. And it runs npm build, right? Then it does all this. You don't really need to take a look at it. We can always just try it out. If it works, awesome. So to try it out, how do we do that? We literally go into the terminal and we run docker build -t for template, and then you give your app a name. It doesn't matter what it is. Marie K. dot. And one thing I should mention, Docker running on your machine. So let me show you what Docker looks like. All right. So Docker Desktop is something you have to download from the Docker website. And then once you have it running, oh, that's weird. What happened to my screen? Duplicate. Oh yeah. Okay, so once Docker is running on your machine, then you log in through your desktop, just like before, and it's essentially like a daemon that's running in the background. This is it's got its own little background situation. It doesn't have it running on your machine. If it's not, this command will not work. So let me bring you back into Cursor. So many screens. Okay, so this command is using Docker. I hit enter now. And what it's doing right now, it is building this. It's taking all the steps and building it, creating the container and making my app. I'm not running from local anymore. Now I'm running from the container. Does that make sense? Kind of cool. So it's doing its thing, it's building. What kind of smart comment are you working on, Drewski? Thank you, Fedosky. Okay, so now the Docker has been built. Now we have to run it. To run it, we use this command. Okay. Docker run -p. Let me type that whole thing out. Sorry. All right, the command is docker run -p for port. So port, hi, winner of glory, for port 3000 to 3000. This is the mapping structure. You're mapping 3000 to port 3000. What you're saying is my app originally runs on 3000. Now I want it to port to my local machine 3000. That makes sense? Yeah. All right, and then I have to give it the name of my template, which we named Marie K. Hey, Remy. It's great to see the Docker build, yeah. All right, so I ran the command. What happened here? Ah, I know why. It's because it's missing the encryption key. Remember, there's a whole bunch of environment variables here that we need. Right here. Okay. This is annoying because there's a lot of environment variables. Hey, Dancy. Hi, AG1. I'm just going to turn this on so you guys feel free to chat in here while I am assembling the right command. What just happened was we built this without passing in the environment variables, which means that's why the container is not running. Let me work on this. Woo, it works. Hi, Sam Smithy. All right, so here's what happened while you guys were hanging around. I asked AI to generate the correct Docker image with the Docker run command. It's going to be super annoying for me to type this whole thing out, so I was just like, here's my environment file. Can you generate the command for me? This is what the command looks like. Docker run -p 3000, and then you pass in literally every single environment variable. Boom, 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 all the way down, and then you run your container. This is what we built earlier, Marie K. So I just copied this whole thing, copied, I ran it in here, and now it's running. It's running on port 3000. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to bring you my desktop. And that's it. This looks like the same app we were looking at under deployment, but this is not running from CreateOS. It is not running from my local machine. I mean, technically it is, but it's running from a container that's sitting on my local machine. So this is important. So now that we've Dockerized it, let's actually see if it's working. Log in with Gmail. Hit continue. Yeah, I'm happy to see that it works. And yeah, it looks great. I can do the scanny scan. Awesome. All right, so we have a Docker that's working. Now we can move on to the next step. Now we publish it. Now we publish it to the public. To do that, we're going to run this command. So we ran this one, we ran this one, we ran this one. Now we publish it. So that command is going to look like this. We're going to have to log in. Docker, login, user, and your username. To log in, you need a couple of, you need something in your terminal. Let me show you real quick. So go into Docker Hub. Under, what is it, settings? No way. Yes. You click on your account and then you go under account settings. And then under, you have to go under personal access token over here. Let me make it bigger. Under personal access token, you're going to generate one. So in order for you to push from the command line, you need a command, you need a token. So you click generate token on the top right, give it a name. Let's call it Marie K cursor. No expiration dates. Very important. You give it the ability to read and write this one, and you hit generate. Okay. And then you can copy this command and then copy this command. So I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to take you into my cursor again. All right. So we know the Docker is working. Now we have to push it up. I'm going to paste that command. So now I'm logging in with my username. It's going to ask me for a password. This is not the password to your account. It's going to be the password that we just generated. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it, hit enter, and I have login succeeded. Now that I can push to Docker Hub from the terminal, I can paste that command earlier. What was it? I'm going to type this out so I can walk you through what they mean. Now we're going to push it to the public, so other people have access to it. So far, this container is just sitting in our machine. We got the Docker file, and now we're going to publish it. So to do that, we do Docker build -t, and then your username, and then we named it Marie K. And optional, but there's versionings of your app. Like let's say you push up a new version, and so you now have to push up a new container. So you can enter a tag. You can say version 1, v1, or you can just say the number 1. Or a lot of software, they do like 0.01 or like that. So there's a lot of conventions for how you want to do it. The point is that they must be iterated so that people know that there's a difference between one container versus the other. If that makes sense. So I'll keep it simple. We'll just do 0.1. And then we want to push up this directory. So where we're sitting in now, we do -- push. So yeah, there was a period here for current directory, -- push. And remember, we had to do -- platform. And we have to push up to Linux AMD 64. Very important that you push up this flag, because if you don't, it's not going to run under NodeOps. Okay, so that looks good to me. Hit enter. And now it's doing its thing. It's building this container and also publishing it and pushing it to Docker Hub, to my account. Does anyone have any questions so far? Oh, Drewski has a question. But all this perk come with the $20 premium, right? If not, you wouldn't have prompt the AI to, right? You mean like, am I able to use Cursor AI? Yeah, that's part of the $20. In my opinion, is worth it. I use AI all the time, and we learned from our last stream that Cursor code eats up a lot of tokens. I spent, I think, $17 just to make Marie Kondo. That was like one app. Yeah. And let me show you the kind of agents I have access to under $20. Okay. So down here, I can select which model my cursor uses. It's set to auto, so it kind of decides. Yeah, it's super worth it. And you can also select different models. For example, like right now it's set to auto, which is maximizing efficiency, but you can also do like stronger models like GPT 5.3 Codex and Composer 1.5. These models alone are already way higher than the ones that are offered, even on like CreateOS, you know? So these things consume a ton of tokens if you were to use this under Claude Code or something. So yeah, these are very strong. If I'm right, I believe GPT 5.3 Codex is literally created for coding. So if you wanted to do some hardcore coding, you would do Codex. But if you wanted to like consume less tokens, you can do like maybe Opus or something. But this is already very strong. I know. $17 for Marie Kondo. That's why I'm using Cursor today. I was like, screw this. I'm not going to touch Claude Code again. I know, right? Kanzi, you better print money. $17, man. I disabled that API when I saw that number. I was like, hello. Anyway, so it was successful. We have pushed up our container into public. We can confirm that it's there. Let me show you where it is. We confirm that it's there by going into Docker Hub. This is where we were. And remember I was showing you my repositories before? Now we can see that there's a new repository published 1 minute ago, and it is called Juliana P/Marie K. So, and it is public. So bam. Right now, if you guys were to able to go like Docker pull, Docker image Juliana Marie K, now you have a copy of my application without knowing my code. So wrap your head around that, understand how powerful that is. Now we're gonna put it onto the marketplace. So now we can sell our Docker image. Everything makes sense so far? Yeah. Oh, Lucas! Oh, so cool to see you here. Hey, excited to see you. Kanzi said disabled. What does that mean? I just want to say hi before I transition to something else. So good to see everyone. Hope you're doing well. All right, back to what we're doing. We're half hour in. We just published our Docker image, right? We finished the step. Wow, that took like 20 minutes. But that was like, I'm just slowed down because I'm explaining it too. The next step is to templatize it into the NodeOps marketplace. This is where we take that image that we just published, right? We called it. That's what we did. This is now public. Now we submit it to NodeOps marketplace. This is where you earn that 80% revenue. Let's go to CreateOS now. So from here, you guys, if this is your first time with CreateOS, this is what the UI looks like. Now, there's a part that I don't think I've shown very much in my live stream, so this may be your first time. Under templates, these are other Docker images that other people have put up for sale. So you can purchase like this name or JSON transform, or chat with a document, RAG, whatever. The point is you can publish your own. So top right, click Publish Templates. And now we start publishing our template. Let's see. Where is it? Here. Under My Templates, you can track the templates you own. So you see there's like draft, under review, listed, and rejected. So there's a process. Once you submit your template to the team goes into it, and there's like a review process to make sure it's functional and it's like secure. So you click publish, and then now we select our project, Marie Kondo, and production, give it a name, Marie Kondo email app. It's not the most fancy name. And then we need a thumbnail. I don't have a thumbnail. What should I use to generate one? Maybe I can just download one. I just want to download a tiny icon. Take this one. Save image as. Okay. All right, go back and upload. Okay. Kanzi said maybe a pic of Marie Kondo's homepage. Yeah, I could. But this is an icon. It's an app, you know? You saw it with me. You saw how you can see like a thumbnail with it, right? So these are the thumbnails I'm talking about. An email icon, that's good. Email icon. I like the red one. Okay. Forget the room. It's so big. It's kind of cool though. I like it. All right. And then you can also add like a demo URL. You can make a YouTube video on how people can use your app. Ours is automation, right? I would file it under maybe analytics. Yeah. And then you can set the credits. So how many credits does a person need to purchase your app? As you can see here, it's a revenue split. So 80% goes to the contributor, 20% goes to the platform. $1 is 100 credits. Let's say you sell your app for, I don't know, $3. That's 300 credits. And then a brief description of your app. And an overview. Previously in our hackathons, a lot of people didn't do this well. They weren't able to write descriptions or write an overview or describe the use cases. The problem with this is that if you don't do this, no one's going to know how to use your app. They don't know which environment variables they need. So it's important that you write this well. And it's going to matter because the review team actually looks like this. You may be rejected. So I went over to AI and I asked them to generate a use case. So I literally just did it just now. And I'm copying it over. There it is. That is my use case. Here's my overview. And here's my description. It would look nice if you did some like making it look pretty, because everything you do here does show up on the page when you publish it. But for today, we're just gonna stick with this. This button is still grayed out, and I'm wondering what I forgot to type in. I filled everything out, right? Wait, this is weird. How come it's still grayed out for me? Perhaps it's not long enough? Let me try fill with AI and see what happens. It's weird this button is still grayed out for me. Kanzi, you said THTAS. What are you trying to type? I think it's too late for you over there. You should go to sleep. You're forgetting how to type. That's weird. It filled, but it didn't. I still can't press the button. So it actually did generate all this content for me, you know, which is nice. It looks really nice. It's totally grayed out. Okay. I have literally no idea how to get past this issue. So I think we should go on to spend the last 15 minutes doing the most exciting thing for me, which is looking at Instagram ads. Kanzi said, that's always the issue. Most times, submission of templates doesn't go through or tried once manually. Yeah, I think the template review team is a little bit backed up right now. But if there's ever if you need a nudge or something, ping me and I can at least pass you to the right person or something. Yeah, it's just sometimes it's hard for me to get something through to the team. But yeah, we just launched CreateOS a couple weeks ago. Just keep that in mind. A lot of the templates from the old version of NodeOps hasn't even been ported over. So yeah. Oh, you sent before correcting it. Oh, I got it. All right, last 15 minutes. Let's go. Let's do Instagram ads. This is now uncharted territory. All right, I'll get back to the templatizing. I'm pretty sure we'll get this button working. All right, it's very simple. You hit submit and then you wait for them to email you back. Done. Bada bing, bada boom. It's listed on the marketplace. The exciting thing for me is Instagram ads. I've never tried it before, so I think I'm just gonna Google it. I typed in Instagram ads, how to get started. Says we need a professional business account connected to Facebook pages. Use the ad manager and then boost the post. Define your goal and set a budget. Okay. All right, so let's go to Instagram. Instagram. Okay. So this is my personal account, but I have a fake account too. I have, what is it called? Is that my password? Guys, I don't know my password. Oh, that's why. It's New York Lock Sport. Oh, shit. What's my password? Yes, we made it in. Save. Save. And here we are. All right. So here's my professional Instagram account. It's not really a burner account because I actually do run this community. I run a community for lockpicking inside of New York. Every month I hang out with, I bring a bunch of locks and we get together and we learn how to pick locks. So I can show you. This is a door that I built and I teach people how to break into doors. You can also break into like, like handcuffs, and people drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, but people do drink alcohol. And sometimes you get better at lockpicking. And it's really fun. It's very relaxing. But yeah, this is my professional account. And what do I do next? I need to connect it to Facebook pages. So how do I get to ads? Dashboard. Oh, here it is. It's so easy. There's just a create an ad right here. I have an option to run an ad that won't show in profile or boost content from my profile. To be honest. Let's do this one. Oh, okay. So option 1 is when I send a picture or a video that won't show up on my ad. And option 2 is if I already have an ad. Oh, thanks, Kanzi. It's not that useful, to be honest. Lockpicking is kind of fun, but if someone wanted to break into your place, no one's going to come in and like pick it, you know? They're going to just bust in. So let's boost this post or this one, I guess, and enter. Use a Facebook ad account for Instagram ads. Log into Facebook to use your safe payment. So I need a Facebook account. Okay. I guess I need a burner Facebook too. I just connected my Facebook account. I guess that's my ad. What do you want people to do when they see your ad? Okay. Let's do it. I want them to visit my profile. Visit my website. Assuming I have the template, then I can just redirect them to my template here, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick with visit my profile for now. Let's see what happens. Who should see your ad? Target this ad to people similar to your followers or manually select them. So let's say I'm looking for someone specific. Audience name. All right, so Marie Kondo is meant for professionals. Let's say Marie Kondo audience. And so I can select a location, a region, or an address. It can be like very specific down to exactly where I want them. What if I'm just like, you know, America or United States as the country? Wow, that's a lot of people. 193 million people. All right, let's target America. And then I can also select the age. So minimum age, people with emails probably are like 30 years old, right? Yeah. Wait, is that the highest I can go? Wow, that's so funny. Minimum age is 25. They trying to say that 30-year-olds are too old? So minimum age is 25. That's super surprising to me because I think people interested in Marie Kondo are at least 30 years old. And I can be specific. I can go up to 65 years old. I can specify the gender. I can look at interests. So people may be interested in, I don't know, organizing. Cleaning. Maybe someone with OCD. Okay. But I like this bar here. At first it was like too broad and now it's at great. So yeah, if they're interested in cleaning, maybe they'll be interested in cleaning their emails too. Cool. So we've created this audience. I'm targeting this audience. And my budget is 161 bots per day. By the way, I don't know why my account is set to bot. Bot is like a Thai currency. 161 bot comes up to, I think this is about $4 or $5. Yeah, it's $5.01. I knew it. So that's like $5 per day, which is kind of expensive. Let me push it down. Like that. 50 baht a day. So it should make 400 to 600 impressions per day. Up to 600 people can see my ad. See, run this ad until I pause it. Yep. And then boost. And then I pay for it. Okay. To US dollars. This is kind of cool. This was a lot easier than I thought. Where's my dollars? Dollars. Am I absolutely blind? I can't see the US dollar. Oh, there it is. Okay. And next. I don't have any ad credits. If anybody has any ad credits, please share with me. Oh, I need a credit card. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Fill this out. Oh no. I'm not gonna share my screen for that part. Just pardon. We're down to the last 4 minutes. And once I click this button, I should be paying $6 for 6 days. Each day I set a budget of $1 and it should reach 1,200 people. I think that's cool. That's good. In fact, let me just set it to, I don't know, 3 days. And run this ad. My ad is in review. Nice. Cool. So I can track how many people sees my ads, how much I've spent, how many people I've reached. Wow. Okay, we did everything. How's everyone feeling? Are you guys still in the room? If you are, thank you so much for joining for the last 1 hour. We were able to accomplish everything on our list, most of it. We Dockerized Marie Kondo pretty successfully. Then we templatized it, and we almost got to the end where we submitted the form, but the button was grayed out. And then we were able to successfully submit our first Instagram ad. That was my first ad ever. I've never done that before. And that's kind of cool how easy it was and how simple. All it is just like selecting the media, who you're talking to, how much you want to put into it, how long you want to run it, and then like fine-tuning the region and what they're interested in, which is kind of cool. Now I can see how I got targeted for all the stuff I'm seeing. Yeah. It's kind of funny that like we couldn't choose anybody over 30, like as if there are no 30-year-olds on the app. All right, so that's it for today's stream. I'll see you next Tinker Tuesday. And for the next stream, let me know what you're interested in seeing, because I don't really have anything planned right now. I'm happy to go over old stuff or explore new stuff. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. And thank you so much for joining today's stream. Bye.